Hey guys, welcome back to our weekly video series. I'm Peyton and I'm joined by Corey and Yaila. And today we're going to be talking about one of the most important fundamental principles of spiritual practice, and that is meditation. So, whether you love to meditate or just can't quite get into it, today we're going to talk a little bit about why it is so important and so worth your time to invest in a meditative practice of your own. So, I'd like to start with you, Yaila. Why is meditation so important?
Wow, that's a loaded question. I am so happy we are doing this topic because I feel like once I actually learned how to do a style of meditation for myself is really when I was able to not only trust my intuition, but develop it even stronger. So when I created a daily meditation practice, and I'm at the point now where I meditate about twice a day, about 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night before I go to bed, as much as I can. Of course, I'm human, so some days it doesn't happen exactly perfect, but the benefits of meditating for me, one, I just feel more grounded in my space. Two, like I mentioned, I am just more clear with my clear senses and like their senses. And three, I feel like when I am trying to navigate my day and interacting with other people, I don't get pulled into outside energy as easily and quickly as I used to before I was meditating on a daily basis. And this didn't happen overnight. When I did learn my very first guided meditation, and I think the three of us have similar ones somewhere on either our website or you can find on our YouTube channels. I know my basic guided meditation is available at a link, I think, in every video I post, but it was just a basic grounding meditation. And the best analogy I can give, when you take a shower every day and you're just kind of, getting yourself nice and clean, your hair's fresh, your skin's fresh, and you have the variants of showers, right? Like, especially for girls, sometimes we go like the full shebang, shave the legs, do a little, scrub the feet, all those fun things, deep condition the hair. There's a lot of deeper levels we can go as far as taking a shower. Meditation is the same. And just like that quick shower, maybe you're on the go and you just kind of get I say what to my students, the key pieces. You get the key pieces. Even just a daily meditation to clear out the key pieces, meaning for me, other people's energy gets in your space. So we're always exchanging energy. You've probably heard this on a video or two before. We exchange energy with people, places, things every single day. And the aura around our body is our energetic field. And as you are interacting with the world around you, you're giving away your energy and you're taking on energy from outside things. And so my daily meditation practice is really focused around clearing all the stuff that's not me, even if it's stuff that I have outgrown from previous days, weeks, months, years before. These are my intentions to clear my space. And then I call in my the energy, more of myself back if I've given it outside to the world, or even things I want to call in more of. So some of my favorite things to call in are clarity, expansion, all of my clear senses, unconditional love, abundance, and my favorite one to call in is amusement. So when I call in these beneficial things in a daily meditation practice, I actually get little glimpses throughout my day of more of these things increasing for myself. And that's where I'll start with meditation. But how about you, Corey?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I meditating? Oh, yes, I was meditating. I love this topic, actually. Well, meditation, I before I started meditating, I mean, it was years where I was like, you know what? I know that I need to meditate. Sorry, hair verbal. I was saying, I want to meditate. I know I need to meditate, but I cannot sit still long enough. I mean, trying to get this mind quiet, I was like, it's not going to happen. Just not going to happen. So, I kept saying, all right, I want to learn to meditate. I want to start meditating. And so I brought up, I had a friend who was like, here, try some of this, listen to these meditations. And, I tried to do that. And, just 3 minutes. I was like, 3 minutes. Oh my gosh, that was an eternity. Gosh. But, it didn't resonate with me. But, so I was just like, okay, God, well, I guess I'll meditate when I'm supposed to meditate, but I'll keep trying, right? So it wasn't until I actually signed up for a class. It was like six month long clairvoyant program, actually, and I really didn't know a whole lot about it. But I signed up because I know for me that when I sign up for something that has longevity to it, not just like a class here or a class that now it's easier, but back then, it was like, I know that I need some consistency, right? So, and showed up for class, and it was all taught through meditation. And I was like, oh, you're funny, you're funny, Spirit. You're funny, God. That's funny. All right. That's how you got me to meditate. So, with that being said, if you find that you're like, I want to meditate, but I can't quiet my mind. I can't sit still that long. Because in the 3D paradigm, it's go, go, go. That's what we do, we accomplish, we go. Rest is not a part of it. And that's where my life was at that time. So if you're finding that there's no way you can quiet your mind, there's no way you can sit still that long, I recommend a guided meditation. So hence the beginning of the journey of meditating, right? And so, doing these classes and practicing every day. And the guided meditations for me were easier to listen to. It focused my mind on who was speaking. And it helped me. I mean, honestly, I used to always go, when I'd hear people go, oh, meditation is life changing. Be like, all right, sure. But it was life changing for me. It really was. And yeah, like Yaila was saying, I meditate twice a day, sometimes more. It just depends. So the guided, the meditation that is still the basics for what I do today and what I teach my students and my clients to do is a grounding meditation, because the energies are so strong. I mean, they were strong back then, they're still strong today, and so grounding. I found that when I had a purpose for my meditation, it was a lot easier. So, grounding out energy that's not yours. I didn't even know what my energy was. So to sit and meditate and to get people's energy out of my space was a foreign concept. I didn't even realize that. And so it was the beginning process of getting all that energy out of my space. And then I started to feel my own space and then bring in energy that I needed for the day or that moment. I had no idea of, this concept. So it was meditation really via doing energy work. And eventually my mind got quiet. I never thought I could have a quiet mind. And I never thought that I could sit still to meditate. And it has taught me to be still. And that's not why I will originally go into meditation. I love meditation because it also helps us connect to the other side of the veil, to our higher selves, to get messages from our higher selves, our guides, whatever messages need to come in. And meditation also helps to quiet the body. It for me, it allowed me, I mean, I could shut out the world really without meditation, I thought. But to be able to shut out the world for a while, I love going and, traveling in the cosmos in meditation. It's just what I need at the moment. And that's another purpose of meditation, is to give yourself what you need at any given moment. Because we're responsible for ourselves, our own energetic bodies, our own vibration. And meditation helps to get yourself back, get in touch with yourself, get in tune with your body, and get in touch with your guides, and also from the other side, messages that come from the other side. So from a woman who never thought it was possible to having it be a daily practice is a miracle in itself. But meditation is life-changing, and it's really one of the biggest gifts you can give yourself. And meditation alone can change a lot of things. It can change your frequency and how you perceive the world, and help you get in touch with yourself. So I think meditation is really important. It's really, I can now say it's life-changing, and it is really, really important. So, Peyton, what have you got about meditation?
I love hearing y'all's stories because, Corey, my introduction to meditation was so much like yours. It's kind of crazy. I still remember my first experience with meditation. So I was in law school, right? And I was so stressed out. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. And I knew it wasn't a good scene. I knew I had to get things under control. So I had this brilliant idea to take a meditation class. So in the middle of the chaos of law school, I go to this class and they have everyone lay on the ground and focus on their breathing for an hour. Torture I could ever remember. I remember laying on the ground, just cursing the teacher and thinking I was going to jump out of my skin. And so my first introduction to meditation did not work. And I was so much like you, Corey. Being the lawyer, I was always in my head. So my mind was racing constantly. So no one needed meditation more than me, but also probably no one was worse at it than I was. So if you are someone who struggles with meditation, if just hearing the word kind of makes you groan, I feel you. I have been there, because I am possibly someone who was the worst meditator that has ever come along. And it has taken me some time to figure out how to do it and how to make it something that I actually enjoyed. So one of the first things that I always recommend to anyone who struggles with meditation, because again, I sympathize, is to find a modality that works for you. Because I still, after doing this, it's something I now do for an hour at least a day. It is something that took me finding the right way to go about it. Because let's face it, if you hate it, you're not going to do it. So finding the right modality is half of the battle, if not more than half the battle. So I agree with what you guys shared, that one of the great ways, if you struggle with the whole sitting in silence form of meditation, which to be honest is still a struggle for me, to sit there and do nothing. My brain still, as much as I meditate, struggles to be quiet for a long period of time. So like Corey mentioned, guided meditations can be a game changer because they give your brain something to follow along with, so that you're not just you versus your thoughts. Because trying to quiet the mind, it can be a struggle for a lot of people. So if you struggle with meditation, trying out the different modalities and finding one that you actually like, that's a big part of I think making meditation work for you. So I love guided meditations because they're just enough of a distraction that it's not just you with your thoughts. But if you've tried that and even that doesn't work, there are so many forms of meditation now, even something like breath work, where you're doing a conscious breathing exercise, can get you out of that feeling that you're just sitting there doing nothing. Because again, I was a very type A person, very hyper driven, and just sitting and doing nothing would give me anxiety. I would feel like I should be productive, that I had to be accomplishing something. So if you're doing something like working on conscious breathing, that again can take you out of the mind. And again, the whole point of meditation is to get out of the mind. So finding a technique that works for you can really be helpful if you're still kind of thinking that meditation just isn't really your thing. But if even those techniques don't work for you, even things like exercise can be meditation. A lot of people meditate by going for long runs, or hiking or walking or gardening. So do something that lets you be active, something that you enjoy, but that quiets the mind. Because when meditation, we're going for quieting the mind. And that's why meditation is such an important part of our spiritual practice, is because it gets us out of the mind and into the present moment. And again, most of us, we're in the head all the time, right? So we're in our to-do list, we're out in the future, we're back in the past. So meditation brings us back to now. And so one of the things that my guides always tell me about meditation is that when I was struggling with it, what they would tell me is, we can't get to you if you're in your mind. They said the mind is too loud. We'll be talking to you, we'll be giving you downloads, and you won't hear them. So if you are someone who is interested in all the things that we talk about in these videos, like connecting with your guides, or opening your intuitive abilities, or connecting with your star family, it all starts with getting out of the mind. So again, find a technique that works for you, because there is one out there that will work for you. And once you start to develop a daily practice, you'll start to see the benefits. And you can Google the benefits of meditation. They are endless. So when you start to make this a daily practice, and be easy with yourself, you don't have to sit down and meditate like the three of us do. We've been doing this for a long time. You don't have to sit and do it an hour a day. The guides have said lately that you need to do it only for 15 minutes to start to get the benefits of the changes in your brain, the changes in your physical body. So most of us can fit 15 minutes into our day if it's going to make us feel better. So again, it's so worth investing in a technique that works for you. But don't torture yourself with ones that don't work for you, because again, if it makes you miserable, you're not going to do it. And I think that this is one of those things that is kind of a necessary part of any intuitive practice. It's very hard to start connecting with your intuition or with your guides or hearing your higher self if you're in the monkey mind. So I think meditation is one of those things that we're starting to realize is kind of essential. So again, my advice is always find something that is fun for you. Find something that you like. So that's kind of how I found my way into meditation, made friends with it after we got off to kind of a rocky start. So ladies, anything else popping up for you on meditation?
Yeah, what's coming to my mind is in one of our other videos, we're sharing just how much your ability to use your imagination is really what is creating the reality that you want to experience moving forward. And I feel like before I started really meditating on a regular basis, and I was similar to both of you, I'm an Aquarius, so earth signs, air signs, we're in our mind all the time. Like, it is nonstop. There's, we overanalyze everything to death all the time. So I jokingly refer to myself now as I used to be a total type A person where, the brain is just on overdrive and all the to-do lists and everything on my plate. And now I lovingly call myself a B plus, because there's there's still that element to myself, but calm down a little bit. And I I bring that all because of meditation, being able to just calm down just for a little bit. But in one of our other videos, we were sharing how being able to connect to that imagination space within yourself and your own mind really helps create the reality that you want. And I was not able to fully allow myself to really imagine the things I wanted to bring in, because I was just so much focused on the outside world, what was already happening. And I was stuck in these patterns that just were not working for me. Everything, every day was a struggle. And I was in my mind, complaining and griping and all the things that pop up. And it wasn't until I learned how to quiet down those thoughts. And it was a practice. I'm not saying this happened overnight. This was, it took daily effort, sometimes all day long, to bring myself to just clear out some energies. But once I started becoming more comfortable in that space, I realized that my imagination got really strong. And then when I was able to pull myself out of the current reality that was not working and imagine and really let myself imagine what it felt like, imagine what it's going to be like when I have this, and imagining I had it right now, those things that I was desiring started coming in faster and easier. And they would just, sometimes, stuff just falls in my lap before I even realize I need it. Sometimes the answer is there. And like in hindsight, I'm like, oh, wow, I'm so glad I had this at this moment. And I definitely attribute that, all of that, to being able to meditate on a regular basis.
Yeah, I don't think we realize how much a lot of the stress that we experience on a daily basis is all from the mind. And so once we shut that mind down a bit, just quiet it down, put it in the back seat, you start to feel a huge sense of relief. Like now I can feel a huge sense of relief when I get out of my mind. And so I realized that a lot of the Corey likes to say the should haves, or, the things that we're saying that, I should have done this, I should have done that. We're in the future, we're in the past. That's all the mind. And so when we get into meditation, we get out of that and we start to realize how much we are stressing ourselves out. And so for me, that's been one of the huge benefits of having a regular meditation practice, because I know that my brain starts getting much louder when I start skipping my meditation. So you can start to see that correlation really clearly once you start to make this part of your daily practice.
Yeah, you know what, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. And because I was, well, most of us, but I was programmed to not be with myself at all growing up. It was always the outside world, accomplish, go, do. So it was this constant strategizing in my head. Okay, so now I have to go do this, and this is how I'm going to get there. And when I get there, I'll need, and what am I going to need to get there? I'm going to need this, I'm going to need that. And so, that 3D paradigm of constantly the mind strategizing as to what's the next thing that's on the agenda. And so one of the wonderful things that I love about meditation is getting in touch with yourself. And I'm seeing that there's a very strong need for people to get in touch with even their bodies alone, let alone their minds. But just who are they? It's really popping up a lot lately. Who am I? Why am I here? What's all this for? And meditation really helps to be instead of the shoulds. Don't should all over yourself, right, Peyton? Don't should all over yourself. I should be here. I should be doing that. And also being aware of the mind. So meditation, when you first start, maybe guided meditation or whatever it is, you become aware of your thoughts and what you're thinking. And so as the day goes on and you're doing your to-do lists or whatever it is, it helps to connect you to your mind and be aware of your thoughts. Like, and I catch myself from time to time too. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really need to be doing this. I should be doing that. And I go, really? Like, but because I'm in touch with my thoughts, and meditation helps with that as well. First, we want to quiet the mind, but we don't realize our mind is so busy until we try to quiet it, right? So there's so many benefits to meditating. And I never thought I would be the person saying, oh, meditate, it's the best thing ever, man. I never thought I'd be that person, but I am. And teaching others to do it. Never thought that would happen, but there's huge benefits all around. So that's about all I have.
Yaila, any last thoughts from you? You're good? Well, I hope this has given you guys something to think about. If you don't have a meditation practice in place, be patient with yourself, because as you have heard, this is not something that is necessarily love at first sight or 10th sight. So just give it a chance, because it really is powerful. So we love you guys so much. We appreciate you tuning into our videos every week. And we always appreciate your shares, your follows, your likes, and your comments. And as always, if there is anything that we can talk about that we have not done yet, please let us know. We do these videos for you. And we have a pretty huge video library these days. So if there's any topic that you want to know about, make sure you look it up, because we probably have one on that topic. So we are so grateful for you guys, and we will see you next week. Bye.